to give a quick agenda for the night.
To bring in more people who have entrepreneurial mind to join the business world and contribute their own quota. So my question for you, therefore, is how do you intend to support Black-owned startups and businesses in our province? We love this province, including access to capital, which is major, business development resources, and opportunities for procurement and contracting with the Alberta Provincial government. We are very few there, probably close to zero, participating in that space, especially since we lack the so-called Canadian experience or the usual collateral and security. Thank you.
To support that as well. So there's different ways in which we can partner so that we can make sure that you're getting the support that you need.
Thank you so much, Madam Premier. What I'm going to do now is, before I ask the next question, I want to go to the audience because some people submitted questions in advance, and we'll just take a few here now. So I'm going to invite the first person, Engineer Austin Omobode, who's an engineer and an entrepreneur, and he's in the oil and gas industry. Mr. Omobode, please.
Thank you very much. All protocols observed. Madam Premier, this is very close to my heart. About 15 years ago,
Of excellence. I can tell you what I've seen other communities do. I was just in Red Deer, and the Sikh community had been established there for decades, but they finally developed their own Gurdwara. They went and bought a church, and they converted it into a Gurdwara, and it's become a gathering area that is now so popular they've already outgrown it, and they're looking for a larger space. And so sometimes just starting small with a center as a gathering place, it's like if you build it, they will come, and more people will then give money to be able to make sure that it expands out. And then when you, a minister would probably be able to tell you a little bit more about the process, but we've got two different grant programs. One is a CFIP grant, it's a facility enhancement program, and the other is a SIP grant. It's I think that's more for operations, do I have that right? But what we like to do is to partner with communities that if you get a little bit of money, we can do matching grants so that then leverages your ability to go out and build. Because if you get that initial amount of money, that could be the down payment. That's right. It can be a down payment on a building, and then you can get the mortgage so that you can finance it over time and have your own cultural events in your own places, because I imagine you probably have to pay money to rent this place this evening, and then you'd be able to have that as a source of revenue in a gathering area. So do know that we have done that with many, many different cultural communities. And so it would be something that you'd have to begin maybe through the collective, figuring out how I could just imagine it'd be glorious actually to be able to have a room that represents to a Black History Month celebration, I'm always amazed at the different traditions from different places. But we partner with communities on those kinds of construction projects all the time. So now that you've got so much work that you've already been doing and bringing the communities together, let's see if there's a way that we can use that to get a proposal in, and we can guide you through the process.
Absolutely, thank you. We will do it. We will do it.
One of the things that we also did is a food bank. We supported the food bank for the South Sudanese.
Government should have ways of reaching our Black community to engage and establish programs that are inclusive of the Black community. Recall that at the February 2023 Black History Month at Mandela Center, you approved our request for a premier Black Advisory Council. We know you have been very busy, but here are some of our questions on this. One, what is the status of that promised Premier Black Advisory Council? Two, when is it going to be set up? And hopefully through an order-in council so that it can survive every other premier. Number three, will the said Premier or Premier's Black Advisory Council still report directly to the office of the Premier as a conduit for bringing to your attention substantive issues that specifically impact the Black community? And will the government implement the Black community? Will the government implement through the Black community those that the black community will recommend to sit on that council? Thank you.
Those are all great questions. The first step that we took was that we established the Premier's Council on Multiculturalism. And it's very broad-based. It's got 30 individuals on it. Because I think that there's a lot of commonality that I hear from different cultural communities, regardless of where they come from. And in fact, our co-chair is Philomena Okeke Ahiro Jarika. So she is going to not only help guide our discussions and find the commonalities that are a problem, because I can tell you issues of foreign credentials recognition is a common problem across the board, and issues of racism impact certain communities more than others, but I think it's also anyone who's a visible minority has a terrible story of telling of intolerance, and so we want to make sure that we're addressing those issues at the across the board. So the next step is establishing, once we're re-elected, the next step will be establishing different councils that come from the different cultural communities. And there absolutely is a need, since we've got Black History Month every February, that we need to be able to get meaningful impact about how to best honor the contributions of our Black community, and how to best celebrate the contributions, and how to address the issues that arise. As opposed to just having 1 month of the year, we have to be able to address them at every part of the year. And I can tell you, Minister Luan, as our culture minister, has done a tremendous job. We had 2, I think, really amazing celebrations for Black History Month, one in Edmonton and one in Calgary. And got to share delicious food. I've eaten your African version of Timbits. I can't wait to find all of the different ways in which those are made. But you know, with music, with food, with dance, that's how we get to know each other's cultures. And so the first step was establishing the Multiculturalism Committee. We've also had our Anti-Racism Committee. Advisory Council was established in 2019. And so we've been giving out multiculturalism grants to be able to address specific needs as well. I have my notes here about, I think we've given out $3.5 million in multiculturalism grants, and we've got $8 million planned for the next 3 years. And we have Muhammad Yassin, who is he did the inaugural Multiculturalism Award so that we could honor different members of different communities as well. So we're going to continue to do that kind of work, because I think that the more everybody in society sees people from different communities and different positions of leadership being honored, I think that that's just going to do so much to foster cross-cultural understanding. So those are the things that we need to do. And anyway, the short answer was yes. Yes, we're going to do it. Yes, we'll do it right after the election. Yes, we're going to get advice from the community.
Thank you so much, Madam Premier. Thank you so much. I'm going to follow up on that. You know, it's so pleasing that we are at the first time some of the African leaders met to it was at the Key Club. And today we're meeting at the Croatian Center. Oh, what's stopping us having a Black Center of Excellence in Calgary? The question for you, Madam Premier, you know, we know you love the Black community. We know that we are compassionate conservative, because Blacks are compassionate themselves. You know, we want to hold each other's hands. We move each other. We don't move alone. And when we do that, we work hard as well. We don't look for handouts. We work hard. So when you talk about working hard, this is the group. We work hard. So the question for you is, will your government support and fund the building of a Black Center of Excellence in Calgary? If yes, how would you see that completed during your next 4 years?
Excellence. I can tell you what I've seen other communities do. I was just in Red Deer, and the Sikh community had been established there for decades, but they finally developed their own Gurdwara. They went and bought a church, and they converted it into a Gurdwara, and it's become a gathering area that is now so popular they've already outgrown it, and they're looking for a larger space. And so sometimes just starting small with a center as a gathering place, it's like if you build it, they will come, and more people will then give money to be able to make sure that it expands out. And then when you, a minister would probably be able to tell you a little bit more about the process, but we've got 2 different grant programs. One is a CFIP grant, it's a facility enhancement program, and the other is a SIP grant. I think that's more for operations, do I have that right? But what we like to do is to partner with communities, that if you get a little bit of money, we can do matching grants so that then leverages your ability to go out and build. Because if you get that initial amount of money, that could be the down payment. That's right. It could be a down payment on a building, and then you can get the mortgage so that you can finance it over time and have your own cultural events in your own places. Because I imagine you probably have to pay money to rent this place this evening, and then you'd be able to have that as a source of revenue and a gathering area. So do know that we have done that with many, many different cultural communities. And so it would be something that you'd have to begin maybe through the collective, figuring out how I could just imagine it'd be glorious actually to be able to have a room that represents African traditions, because they're also, every time I go to a Black History Month celebration, I'm always amazed at the different traditions from different places. But we partner with communities on those kinds of construction projects all the time. So now that you've got so much work that you've already been doing and bringing the communities together, let's see if there's a way that we can use that to get a proposal in, and we can guide you through the process.
Absolutely, thank you. We will do it. We will do it.
Can I just say this, that one of the things that we also did is a food bank. We supported the food bank for the South Sudanese.
Nominated, and he sits on the bench at this moment. Are we going to stop on one? Just one? Tell us about it.
I remember when I was on radio, there were two really awful cases, one in Calgary and one in Edmonton. And the one in Edmonton was a man who got pulled over. I think he was speeding because he was going to pick up his wife and child from some event. And it ended up turning really badly, where the officer put his knee down on the man's neck. The job I have now is premier, and it's a different job. And I've asked for people to judge me on what I've done, and judge our government based on what we've done. And when I look at the incredible success that we've had over the last...
Thank you so much. Before I ask my last question, I want to be on record that, Madam Premier, we've seen your compassion in several things. We saw your compassion show so much when we lost our two brave police officers in Edmonton. We saw it again when you made that moving announcement on healthcare, and the way you held those meetings and talked about things that we can do in our province to advance healthcare. We've also seen it so recently with these forest fires. So thank you for that. But I'm going to ask you the hardest question ever. Early voting just opened today, and we heard you voted. That's awesome. You know, our community members want to vote for a team and a leader that understands us and can work with us and have us at the table. Why should our Black community members vote for you, Madam?
This is the philanthropy, all of that is already there. And if we can just connect more people to those opportunities and make sure that we're elevating those positions as decision-making authority, then I think that that's going to bridge some of these gaps. I'm sad to say that it's a problem for your community. It's a problem that I hear in the Filipino community as well. I think it's a problem that we see in the Muslim community also. And so we have issues that we have to do across the board. It's part of the reason why I felt it was really important to have a diverse cabinet. So Minister Luan represents one perspective, Casey represents another perspective, Casey Nadu, Rajan Sani represents a different perspective. We have Mohammed Yassin, who's a parliamentary secretary, Devinder Tour, who's a parliamentary secretary. Mickey Amory is also from the Muslim community as well. Because having that brain trust sitting around the cabinet table, all of them always just have a different lens that they look at things through. So that when we're making good policy decisions, we're doing it in the most inclusive.
Calgary. He has been the chair of the African Coalition. He's done a lot of work for this event, and we would really love to hear your closing remarks. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause to our premier. We planned this event in 3 days. And out of a busy schedule, I don't know whether she was in Edmonton or Grand Prairie today, she made time to be here this day. Let's give a big round of applause to her. one thing that I got from your team is when we sent the letter, we addressed you as Premier. He said, no, she's not coming as Premier, she's coming as leader of the United Conservatives. So I guess you are such. And when you win, we'll start addressing you as Premier again. So, Leader Daniel Smith, thank you very much for your presence here tonight. It means a lot to our community.
Yes.
Tonight is a historic day in our community in Calgary to have two leaders meet back to back in the same building. Let's get a big round of applause for our leaders. On behalf of our community, I stand before you today to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you and our sincere vote of thanks to the esteemed leadership here. From your team, we are grateful for your willingness to make time out of your busy schedule and visit our community. It shows you respect us and you know we are here. This year we are going to vote and we are going to change the outcome of elections in this province this year. That is why we invited both leaders, so we can hear from them and make a decision. So be rest assured that your sterling performance tonight will go beyond this room to our community. We want to thank you for the historic appointments you've made for our community members as well. We see it and we can see it, and we hope that if you are elected, you will continue, else we will bring you back here and we'll ask you more difficult questions. I want to say a big thank you to our leaders here for stopping whatever you're doing, doctors, lawyers, just name it, to be here tonight and staying for over 4 hours to listen to the two leaders. Thank you very much. On behalf of the African Coalition, which the President has said, please join and become a member. And also on behalf of the Calgary African Community Collective, which is aimed at bringing all the grassroots organizations together to serve the needs in our community. I want to say a big thank you to all of you. Enjoy it.
Okay.